Hello and welcome to Reepolar on Current Events, Season 2, Episode 2. Sorry for the very late episode. Illness and forgetfulness has made me forget to do this podcast. Now first, one of the biggest news stories on the BBC's website, Donald Trump's court case. So shortly after 2:30 Eastern Time on the 3rd of April 2023 in New York, a former president of the United States walked into a Manhattan courtroom as a defendant. Donald Trump entered surrounded by his Secret Service detail wearing his signature blue suit and red tie, and an electric buzz shot through the room. His expression was somber, and his steps seemed heavy and slow as he walked down the courtroom's centre aisle to take his place at the front, where his defence attorneys waited for him. Mr. Trump never addressed the press and gave little away through expressions or body language. Though Mr. Trump is known for his political pageantry, he spoke only briefly. When the judge read the 34th felony counts he brought against him, he replied, "Not guilty." Then, at one point, Judge Merchant addressed Trump directly, reminding him that he had a right to be present at all proceedings related to his case. Asking if he understood this, Mr. Trump replied, "Yes." The judge then added that if Mr. Trump, like any defendant, behaved in an unruly or disruptive manner, he might lose the right to be present at his trial. As they had made their arguments, prosecutors mentioned Mr. Trump had made threatening posts on social media, including one that warned of potential death and destruction if he was charged. Mr. Trump's lawyers said their client was frustrated and upset with the case, which he believed to represent a great injustice. The judge responded by telling the defense attorneys, "I don't share your view that certain rhetoric and certain language is justified by frustration." Judge Merchant said his warning about further inflammatory rhetoric was a request and not an order, but he would have to take a closer look if the issue ever arose again. The judge brought proceedings to close after nearly an hour. Mr. Trump stood and was immediately surrounded by a Secret Service detail. The former president spoke quietly to his lawyers, but he was inaudible to the press sitting a few rows behind him. Then he turned and walked out of the centre aisle of the courtroom, out the rear door he had first entered. He said nothing to the pack of television cameras outside. His expression was quite serious. The first criminal case involving a US president was underway. Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., yes, a Kennedy, is planning to run for the Democratic nomination for the President of the United States of America. The 69-year-old is son of assassinated Senator Robert F. Kennedy and nephew of assassinated President John F. Kennedy. The environmental lawyers campaign treasurer John E. Sullivan confirmed the filing on Wednesday. Mr. Kennedy is an outspoken anti-vaccine campaigner. Yep, anti-vaccine. Lovely. Instagram removed his account in 2021 for repeatedly sharing debunked claims, the company said. Both Democratic and Republican parties hold their own contests called primaries to find their presidential nominee. Mr. Kennedy will be a rank outsider for the Democratic nomination. President Joe Biden indicated he will run for election, though he has not yet formally declared his candidacy. He was previously expected to launch his campaign in early April, but aides say his timeline has shifted. Last month, another Democrat, Marianne Williamson, joined the presidential race. On the Republican side, guess who? was the first to declare his candidacy. Former President Donald J. Trump. Yes, him. And he'd been joined by others, including former US Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. In March, Mr. Kennedy said on Twitter he was considering a run for president. At the time, he said, "If I run, my top priority will be to end the corrupt merger between state and corporate power that has ruined our economy, shattered the middle class, polluted our landscapes and waters, poisoned our children, and robbed us of our values and freedoms." Now, today was very America. This podcast is very America today, but usually I talk about British because I'm British. So, but what do you think of this episode? Send us a WhatsApp at 07400 323 654. I respond, me, the host, personally to every single message. Thank you for listening to Reepolar on Current Events, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! A new offer for Reepolar on Current Events listeners. If you want Reepolar merchandise for 10% off, use the discount code ROCE on bonfire.com/stores/Reepolar. But you better be fast. That code expires on the 30th of April 2023 at 23:59. Thank you.